Thank you. This is Safeguarding Watoto channel. We are live on Facebook. Today we are talking about children role modeling, and it is critical we talk about these issues because really important, because children are going through quite a lot of issues that are happening around the world. This is Safeguarding Watoto channel. We are live on Facebook today. We are talking about children role modeling and live from Nairobi, Kenya. And our guest today is all the way from Africa. We are now live, from Nairobi, Kenya with our guest. So without further ado, I would just like to request our guest today to introduce herself so that we can begin talking about role modeling. Karibu sana.
Asante sana. I hope you are all doing good. My name is Elizabeth Morugi Nyaga, but in social media I use Morugi Nyaga, so many people know me by that name. And one, I am a content creator in YouTube. I am a screen actor, and I really love acting, by the way.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Morugi. So we appreciate, like I said, this is Safeguarding Watoto channel. We thank God, and all we do here is ensure that children are protected and they are safeguarded from suffering any sort of harm. So it is really our honor today to have you, Murugi, with us live from Kenya. So really, we appreciate you even for making yourself available. I know we are in difficult times when the world is going through coronavirus pandemic, but you have created time to ensure that you can support children and young people. Thank you very much for that. We really are blessed to have you today.
Thank you.
Today, the topic today is really about role modeling. What is the right way of role modeling? What is happening? There are a lot of issues that are happening around the world. Not only in Africa, but in Europe, in Asia, in Australia, in America, North America, everywhere. Children are going through a lot of difficulties. There are different types of challenges that young people are facing. And I think today is a good opportunity for us to just share a little bit, maybe, and talk about what are these things, but most importantly, what is it that role models are supposed to do? What is it that they are not doing? So maybe today we may first and foremost want to ask, on discussing this issue, who are your role models, even before we go through what we need to discuss today?
Oh, wow. My role model is a Kenyan, a comedian. He's a very famous person. And as I said, I'm a content creator and I'm a screen actor. So whatever that inspires me is that thing that lies on that line. So my role model is this person called Daniel Dambuki. The Churchill Show. I think you are aware of the Churchill Show. And I really love that show because Daniel has really tried to bring up talents from these young people, especially those people who are talented and they have nothing to show, nothing, there is no place they are given a platform to show what is in there, what they can do. So he has really uplifted a lot of people. For instance, the MC Tricky. MC Tricky was living a very hard life. Like when he was a youth, I think he was in high school. Like he gave his story, and I really felt like Churchill did a great job. So, and now if you can follow MC Tricky, is really doing good. To me, I just take Churchill as my role model.
Fantastic, Mululi. I think Churchill indeed is an awesome show. The guy himself is somebody that I'm familiar with, and he himself is a humble man. He's come from a humble background, and God has elevated him and given him that platform that is a huge platform. I mean, he's got heading to 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube. He's fantastic on Facebook. They are there. They are pretty much on every platform. So that's a great role model. And what you've said there is actually critical. That he his job is to look for talents that are within children, but unfortunately, those children don't have a place where they can showcase their talents. And he brings it. The MCA tricky guy is a wonderful story. And the guy right now is
Yeah.
doing very well. So that's a great role model, Murugi.
Some people take like Kenyans, or maybe the Africans, we have nothing to showcase. But I believe we have talents. We have these young children, as you said, there are a lot of issues that are really affecting them. And I believe when you have these great talents, getting a platform to showcase what they have, it's really, really amazing.
I personally, definitely, Dambuki is an inspirational man. Is somebody that yes, we can look up to and we can see. We would want to emulate him because yes, he does open his show to people who are nobodies. He does.
True.
It's not about you don't have to be rich, you don't have to be famous, you don't have to be a celebrity to come there. People have become celebrities by coming to Churchill show, and that is what role modeling is all about. Maybe, yeah, thank you for that. That's great. So maybe we probably need to have a clear understanding who are role models. You know, maybe I personally, when I think of role models, I see people who we have to emulate, people who we have to look up to, people who are leading from the front, people who don't only talk, but they walk the talk. People who, like you said, they are Churchill, they have, God has blessed them, and they have now created a platform that can showcase somebody else's that hasn't got an opportunity. These are people that I can call role models. I don't know if maybe you have or you see it differently about who role models are.
Okay, according to me, I think role models are really people whom you can emulate their behaviors. And to say me, someone who is successful in a way, like someone tried to to be successful, and they can, and you feel like you want to become this person. Maybe in a certain area, like the way we have given an example of Churchill, he just invested. I don't know if it's investing. Yes, it's investing in comedy. And he became successful because if you go back and watch his videos, he's not the Churchill we know today. He's such a different person. So I think role models should be successful and their behaviors should reflect whatever they are doing. Like not more of talking, but like their actions should speak. Because I believe they are doing a lot. Like Churchill, if he didn't go and get those kids, I call them kids or the youths, from their lowest point and brought them to this platform, they wouldn't be where they are. So he acted. So according to me, a role model is a person who is acting in the right way at the right place, and they are succeeding. Because if you're doing something and you're not succeeding, maybe you can think
Keep
of
asking
something
yourself,
else.
what is it that you're not doing that is right?
Yeah.
I agree with you. Definitely when we role model, it is all about wanting to showcase what God has done for you, and of course, where God can take you, because there has to be something that is driving you to want to follow that person. There has to be a driving force that is
Mhm.
making an individual want to follow somebody, want to emulate somebody, want to be like that person. And I think character, ethics, behavior, the way they carry themselves are all attributes that helps a certain person to want to be like a certain individual. And that is why role modeling is critical. That as role models, we have those, attributes that are causing and making children and young people want to be like certain people. So yeah, Well done for that. Thank you very much for that. So maybe we can go to the questions here that I've had a lot of our young people, or rather people on our social media platform ask. They've been asking, you know, there has been a lot of safeguarding concerns, pertaining children, especially in Africa. But since you are from Kenya, let us
Mhm.
concentrate with Kenya. There has been a lot of
Yeah.
issues pertaining children, in Kenya. So, and considering that we are talking about role modeling, so what is it that role models are not doing? Or what is the role of role models? What is it that they are supposed to do so that then the children can be safe? Let me give you an example. For instance, there has been a lot of children pregnancies. I mean, I know we've
Mhm.
had the pandemic, but there has also been issues about children being, kunajisiwa in Swahili. Or rather, it's, wacha niongee na Kiswahili hapo, sitaki kuongea na Kizungu. So, so children being abused in a nutshell,
Mhm.
in different ways, whether it is neglect, whether it is sexual abuse, whether it is being bullied. What do you think about this issue pertaining role modeling?
That issue, especially the pregnancy, the early pregnancy, is really, really common, and it's really interfering with children's, young girls' lives. Because when a girl is in maybe primary school and she's impregnated, like it's like this girl has to get into a parenthood, and she's going to struggle because you'll find most of them, they don't even have basic needs, so they will obviously drop out of schools. This issue is really, really common, and that means the role models are not playing their part in the right way.
Right.
Hmm. Some of the people have become famous, yes. People have, you think, okay, you can't say you are a role model, but someone somewhere, as in maybe a kid, knows somebody is my role model. So some of us, okay, those who know that maybe nobody knows they are role models, but those people we expect to be acting to help these kids, most of them have started now clout chasing. Like in social media, instead of bringing topics that can help these young kids to learn and to know more about the maybe what might maybe make them drop out of school, people are just bringing content that cannot help these kids. So like most of people who are famous, maybe God has blessed them. Yes, they are playing role in social media. They have a follow up. They know the issues children are undergoing. But the problem is there. Most of them are clout chasing. They just put content that cannot benefit these young children.
So we can say cloud chasing is really becoming a big issue in regards to, role modeling. So instead of them doing what they are supposed to be doing, they're actually cloud chasing, which is an effect.
Yeah. Some people are very blessed to maybe to give motivation talks to these
Mhm.
kids, but they don't. They just assume these children know. They also assume that these children should take care of themselves. So they are supposed to create programs whereby they can teach, at least have a conversation, one-on-one conversation with these kids, so that they can get to learn what they're supposed to avoid, especially at their young age, and what they're supposed to do. Because some of the role models have just decided to assume, and now hii inapata watoto wengi sana to problems, and it's really bad because today you have 5 kids, tomorrow you have 5 kids who are impregnated, they drop, and number is just continue to rise each and every day. And those people can address such issues, like they are not there. People have concentrated on their lives and
Mhm.
forgotten about giving back to the society, which is not
Now,
right.
that's a critical thing you've said there. People are focusing so much on their lives and how much they can make. We're talking about money here, how much money they can make. They have
Yeah.
forgotten about giving back to the society. So is that, I think that's a critical point, that actually people who are meant to be role models have forgotten to give back to the society because they're so busy chasing money, wanting to make millions of dollars and
Yes.
shillings and pounds and dinar.
Yes.
They are making this instead of actually spending time role modeling. And so in regards to social media, where do you think a lot of role models probably are not getting it right?
Um, as you've said, I think it's because of money and fame. Social media, like people want to showcase their lives. You bought a car, you are living in a nice house,
Right.
you're going for vacations, you have that life that you want. You have that life that makes you happy, not remembering the children that you left back. Maybe you were brought up in a humble background.
Mhm.
Somewhere God just intervened and you are where you are, and people forget that there's somebody suffering who needs to be educated about
Mhm.
how to take care of themselves, because these children have no information. Like
Mhm.
teenage, you feel like doing things, okay, so doing how to frame them, and you feel you are right when you are teenage, especially the girls, they get into these traps. Some of them are not even aware of these deadly diseases.
Mhm.
Not just about the pregnancy. Some of them are not aware. As much as, okay, lucky they are lucky enough, maybe they are being educated about this, it is in their syllabus.
Mhm.
But I feel books are more of thinking, like you're in class, you want to get this right for your exam.
Mhm.
I think they should be the role model should play a part whereby they teach these girls or
Mhm.
children about these issues so that they can practice them outside class. That's what is lacking.
Excellent, excellent. So this is why we have this forum today, and we thought it is critical as safeguarding Watoto channel. We try and come and start tackling these issues because I think personally, I feel one of the mistakes that, or rather, one of the things that actually role models are doing, they haven't given enough time to spend time to create content that can actually educate, whether it is like young girls in Kenya, on how to take care of themselves, on how to know when to start, being in a relationship, how to have appropriate, age appropriate relationships, and also how
Mm-hmm.
to relate, boys and girls to relate. Because one issue is whereby you have parenting, which is another thing that we are going to touch shortly. Um, Parenting issues whereby you find a mother or a father telling a girl, don't talk to boys, they bite. They bite what? Tell tell a child what you're talking about plainly. Explain it to
Yeah.
them nicely. And I think this is part. Personally, I can say my dad and my mom were role models that I emulated. They really
Well,
did bring us well, and they
uh,
did everything that they could to bring us in the ways of God and to give us the basics, foundations of life. So I really see them as role models. God rest their soul in eternal peace. They are rested now. But I have also spiritual, people that I look up to. I also have mentors that I go through, and I have role models. I mean, you mentioned Ndabuki. Ndabuki is a person I love, and I really look. I have other people that I definitely look. I have a person on Facebook that's quite famous. His name is Daman. Daman is a huge, great man that produces fantastic content about pretty much life. He's done some fantastic videos about children and how children can be protected, how people, snatch people's children in the park and all that. So he's a person I look up to, and among many that I have my university professors that I really emulate, that they've given me enough knowledge and understanding of safeguarding, children and young people. So I've got quite a few. I'm lucky to say we may, or other people may not have as many as I have, but I have a few that I can look up to, or I can actually call and say, hello, what do
mhm.
you think about this issue? But I think today it's really been an honor for us having you there. Let's talk about parents. Where are we as parents, or where are parents missing it in regards to trying not only to role model, because you may not look at your mom or your dad as a role model, but there is a role there of us helping to role model. Like I mentioned, personally, I see my late mom and dad as my role models. And my spiritual mother, I have a spiritual mother that I'm so blessed to have. And I see her
Mhm.
as my role model. She does do a great job. So I look up unto them. Where do you think we as parents are sometimes missing?
I think nowadays parents are more than busy and they never spend their time with their children, which is really, really bad because there are some things that these children want to learn from their parents.
Mhm,
Because I believe that parents is that person who knows their children. Kila kitu, like they know how their children behave, if they change maybe, how their behaviors. The first person to know this is a parent. So
mhm,
some parents have become very busy. They
mhm,
don't have time for their children. Another thing, children have, parents are not open to their kids. Like they create a free platform where they can at least have a conversation. Because I believe when you speak to a kid and you are free to this kid, not telling them like vile umesema ukienda kwa vijana utaumwa. What do you mean by that? Sit with your kids, discuss. Like
mhm,
I believe when your children have a lot of questions, like teenagers, if you're
mhm,
free with your kid, they will ask all these questions. And some parents like, where talk hapa, you just go away. You're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be asking me such questions. Utasikia mtoto anakuuliza if
mhm.
maybe okay, sijui kama niitaje in English or in Kiswahili.
You
Maybe
use
when
either,
I
doesn't matter. We can translate. Mm,
a kid can ask you whether they can be famous when they engage in sex at their early age. Some
mhm,
parents will just be like, where? Just go away. You're not supposed to ask me such questions. But
mhm,
you're supposed to listen to this kid.
mhm,
Just engage her and try to show her the future that lies ahead of her and where she is. And in
mhm,
case she engages herself in these sexual matters, they are going to ruin her life. That
mhm,
kid will understand
mhm,
kuliko umwambie just go away, disappear from you, are not supposed to be asking me such questions. That is against the taboo. You get?
mhm, mhm,
So I believe parents should engage their kids and feature. You're not supposed to hide anything because these kids will just go and start exploring. When you tell a kid this is wrong, please don't do this, the results will be this. This kid, as ukiwa tu mpole and you are talking to her, trying to understand what she's going through, this
mhm,
kid will understand. Lakini ukimfukuza, when you just chase them away, they will go
mhm,
and try those things that you are just telling them, you are not supposed to ask me. No, who should discuss sex with their parents? You know, sex matters with their parents. You're not supposed to act that way. Yani, I don't know how to frame it, but wazazi ni wakuwe free with their kids so
mhm,
that you can understand their situation, what they want, and then you advise them. Okay, I'm not saying that parents shouldn't look for money and parents should be busy, but if you are a parent, create time for your kids. You Let's take for instance you've gotten an employment far away from your home and you go and you forget about maybe your kids, you just leave them. My friend, when you come back vitu utakuta huko, especially if they are teenagers, it will be very hard for you. So watu ambiwa, if you have to bring up your kids well, make sure they are, especially the teenagers,
mhm,
make them close. Because I remember
mhm,
back when I was a teenager, my mother
mhm,
was very strict. Like you can't get to that house
mhm,
kukiwa na giza. You have to get that early. Actually, she was strict. It should be at before 6. Hata kama
mhm,
umeenda choir or wherever, you have to come home early. So make sure you are close to your kids.
mhm.
Create time for them. Talk to them. Msifiche, because this is what is making these kids to just explore things that are not right.
But then, Murugi, you need to understand one thing, especially from an African context. Sex is a taboo. Saa zingine wazazi who struggle talking about sex, especially when it comes to their girls, maybe little bit okay when it comes to boys, but the African parent wanga wanafikiria, hey, I can't do this sex talk with my son. I can't do this sex talk with my daughter because what if I mention this and then they actually go and they start doing? But I believe and I guess you are so right because parents are the first point of contact. We cannot shift this role to school and to people out in the streets because if we allow the school to teach our children about sex, then unfortunately, uh, the school is going to teach them what the curriculum talks about. It's going to teach them about all sort of sex education. Na sasa kuna mambo zingine sisi, we fear God, we know God, na hatutataka watoto wetu wajue mambo kama hizo. Then again, it is very important for parents to understand their children. They are their parents, so they know the age. And a parent should be able
Yeah.
to know, my daughter is now starting to menstruate, and therefore it is important for me to start talking about sex to them because if they do engage into it and they're menstruating right now, they can actually become pregnant. There is one thing
Yeah.
Safeguarding Watoto channel always emphasizes, and we tell parents and we tell children and young people, especially girls, when girls and boys go out there and they start exploration, projects of engaging themselves into things that they're not supposed to be doing, uh, we always tell girls to remember one thing. You can do whatever you are doing with boys, but just remember, only girls become pregnant. Boys will not become pregnant. So when you are
True.
carrying this pregnancy for 9 months, a boy will still be in school. Your life will be on hold because of what hormonal changes that are happening. So I think you are right. I think it's critical, it's fundamental that parents sit down with their children, and it doesn't matter if it is a man or it is a woman, mother or father. The role for parenting is critical. We must, both of us, sit down and talk. And sometimes you would find that a girl will actually find it easy to speak to their dad rather than their mom. A boy will
True.
find it easy to speak to their mom rather than their dad. And the sex talk issue is not a problem. We just need to let them know that yes, this, sex is between husband and wife. It's not even between boy and girl or man and wife. No, man and woman. It is about husband and wife. And it is
Yeah.
only done in the context of a relationship that is solemnized so that then people know that, oh, so it's not actually a bad thing, but it is done when people are right and when people are ready for it. So we want to thank our viewers who are commenting. Please continue to comment down there. Tell us what you think about this issue and where we as parents are getting it wrong sometimes, and how we as parents, or how parents can help their children understand the need for protecting themselves so that their own children can actually start looking at them as their role models. Because I think before we go outside Murugi to look for
Uh-huh.
role models, I think we need to start from home. I think we need to see that, hey, my mom is done a good thing. My dad has taught us this. Mommy has taught us this. Therefore, even when we go out there, we're just having bonus talk. But we've already had it from home. When we go to school, we've already been taught at home. So we know lines where not to cross. And it is how is important. Let's talk about this, Murugi, probably quickly. Tell us how
Yeah.
important is for boys and girls to have age appropriate and relationship for them to relate, because we have another problem about parenting that sometimes you find that boys and girls are not allowed to mix. Boys and girls are kind of prohibited. If you are a mother and you have 4 girls or 3 girls or 2 girls, or you have boys, uh, then you tell your girls, I don't want to see you with a boy. I don't want to see you talking to a boy. How important is for boys and girls to be able to have early understanding of how they can relate? How important is that?
Um, I think it's not wise as a parent to separate your kids, whether they are girls or boys, or telling them to maybe to socialize. You know, when you just create a boundary between the two genders, it
Mhm.
will obviously separate these two kids from interacting. And let me tell you, the moment maybe that girl will maybe get to a place they have freedom, it will not be good, because this is the time she will feel that she has to explore everything, and she will just get lost in it. You've actually asked me a nice question, because I just reflect and I remember back. I schooled in girls' school, like
Right.
from my primary, high school. I was in a girls' school. I have never
Mhm.
seated with a boy in my class.
Yeah.
I never knew how boys behave, and I
Mhm.
can't relate how I socialize with boys and teachers in class, because you know teachers are teachers. Their work is just to come and teach and go. But
Yeah.
when you are in the same school, in a mixed school, you get to socialize with boys. You know what happens, how maybe boys can, as in they do whatever they do. Maybe they approach girls or the sort. So if you're not in such an environment, it is really, really hard for you. So when I got to campus, my friend, it was my very first time to be in a class with the boys. And I could
Okay.
see how they behaved, and I was shocked. I was like, wait, this is how things go.
Mhm.
So I don't think, as in some of the girls, were really messed up, because this lady has never gotten to socialize with boys. They are
Right.
at home. She
Mhm.
can never get close to a boy.
Yeah.
She's in a girls' school. All of a sudden, I have freedom. I am in campus. So what do I know? Impregnated. Others, I don't know what happened. They are into drugs. They're into, when you get into those acts, you definitely end up in very bad situation, because when you engage yourself in early sex and whatever, you just end up taking drugs. As in, your life is just desperate, and you are known to be a very good child since primary. So it's really bad. I don't encourage any parent separating their kids. You should not talk to boys. Why? You should not talk to boys on sexual matters. As in, kuwa specific. Ambia mtoto, when a boy does this, please don't allow this to happen. So I think you're not supposed to separate your kids, because that doesn't mean that they won't get freedom one day. They will get it at the wrong time,
Mhm.
knowing nothing, knowing how boys behave, and let me tell you, it will be worse. So I don't support that.
Fantastic. Definitely. I totally agree with you. I think it's critical for us as parents to ensure we allow boys and girls to be able to socialize so that they can understand one another. Sio vibaya, it's not a problem for boys and girls to talk. It's not a problem for
True.
boys and girls to engage in play that is appropriate. Talking properly. Doing things together. Becoming friends. It's not a problem. Being friends with a boy if you're a girl, or a girl if you're a boy, because that is the only way you can learn them. As long as we as parents are doing what we are supposed to be doing. We are talking to our boys and our girls. But also, there will be a bonus of when they go to school, they will also learn. But that is also where the topic of today, role models, are coming in handy to talk to the girl child, to talk to the boy child. Because, like we said, when these things do happen, you end up having mothers that are 12, 13, 14 years. You end up having fathers that are 15. And these children are children on the onset. They have no understanding of how to take care of another child because they themselves are children. So I think it's a critical thing that we need to ensure that we allow boys and girls. So this issue of saying, "Oh, I don't want to see you talking to a boy," it's parents need to really go beyond there and understand that as long as I've taught my daughter that yes, you can talk to a boy, but only be appropriate. Don't allow anybody to do this. Don't allow anybody to touch this. Don't allow anybody to say this to you, because then that way you are teaching that child the basics of how to keep themselves safe. You can relate, but don't allow somebody to go beyond here, because then
True.
when they go beyond a certain point, that becomes a problem. Because when we then talk about touch, touch brings another issue because it brings emotion. Touch can bring feelings, touch can bring, things that are going to cause somebody to start feeling differently. So it is necessary these things we share with our children, so that at least we know they are understanding the basics of what it is that they need to have to keep themselves safe. Oh, this far, Murugi, it's been wonderful and it's been brilliant. But maybe, I know we haven't got much long to wait. Before we probably end this topic today of role modeling, maybe we just need, lately, I've seen you because, of course, you're on social media and you're on Facebook and on YouTube. And by the way, you're doing good. So, and just so you know, if you're on Facebook, please follow this beautiful lady. She's doing very well and supporting children and young people. Um, Lately, you tackled on Akorino issues on Nairobian on your YouTube channel. What do you think about religion in reference to safeguarding issues? Do you think it's having issues, the issue of religion?
I think religion doesn't have any issue.
Mhm.
The problem is people, as in as a person.
Individuals.
Yes, individuals, because like that issue I tackled,
Mhm.
it was really like I don't know how to put it, but it was a bad thing,
Mhm.
especially for the Akorino. They are
Yeah.
believed to be
Mhm.
okay. Everybody would expect Akorino to do such stuff.
Yeah.
So I think religion is really playing its part because we have seminars, we have programs, we have church programs that
Mhm.
are really helping the children to to know who they are, to know what they are supposed to do and what they are not supposed to do. Because I believe like ni vile tu kuna COVID, initially kumekuwa when they
Mhm.
close schools, there are seminars, they go there, they are
Mhm.
separated, they are
Mhm.
taught a lot of things.
Mhm.
So I think churches are trying their best. So
Mhm.
when a church is doing all this, if you play your part as an individual, then
Mhm.
everything will be fine. I think
Mhm.
religion is playing a big part in this.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I can't just go mocking religion. Oh, they are supposed to help these kids not to do this, and maybe those youths who feel that they have to live their life, they don't care. So this is not a religion. Religion
Mhm.
has taught these people you're supposed to
Mhm.
practice good morals. You're not
Mhm.
supposed to do this. You're not
Mhm.
supposed to go drinking. You're not supposed to wear like you don't care.
Mhm.
I think religion is really playing its part. The problem is the individuals. And these are few people. Unajua hata wakati wa Yesu kulikuwa tu na watu hawawezi sikia. As
Indeed.
in, yeah, we can't all be good. We can't all follow church regulations or the
Mhm.
religion. So, ukiona watu tu ameamua, mtu ameamua, this is what I'll do,
Mhm.
that's an individual. It's not a religion. I think religion is trying to, it's playing its part.
I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree. I think indeed they are doing their part, but of course we are going to have those individuals that, regardless of who is going to talk to them, they will still do what they do. There are people
True.
that they just want to make themselves controversial. There are people that, regardless of what you tell them, they want to tell their story. And to tell their story, they have to write, they have to dress in a certain way, and they have to say something about this individual. They have to say something about parenting so that their story can be there. I couldn't agree with you more that religion is trying to play its part, especially during these pandemic seasons that definitely are critical. It's of course been the pandemic has hindered a lot of movement, and there has been a lot of restrictions, and therefore there hasn't been much physically that places of worship or churches, mosques,
Mhm.
synagogues, everywhere where people could continue to do what they do best. But I think they've tried even to adapt the social media platform and the online to do their part. But issues about dress code. I know you've just mentioned there that like sort of some people can talk about dress code. Just let's touch about dress code. Do you think dress code has an issue with especially young people on how people perceive them and how on issues relating to safeguarding themselves?
I think dress code is a very, very sensitive part to
Mm-hmm.
discuss. Like,
Yeah,
back in campus, I did costume.
yeah.
You don't just dress for the sake. You will
Mm-hmm.
see someone dressed, and you will definitely know the occasion they are attending.
Mm-hmm.
This person, you can tell if they are going to church, they are going to a club, they are going
Mm-hmm.
to market, or they are just at home. So dress code speaks a lot, and it
Mm-hmm.
has really I don't know, lakini hii nayo imeharibu mambo because
Uh-huh.
you can see, like, you've been into campus where you
Yeah.
dress and nobody cares. You
Mm-hmm.
are what? 3/4 naked. So
Okay. Okay.
like somebody was asking, ni materials za nguo zimeisha or what is happening? So,
Mm-hmm.
as in mtoto mdogo, because these people are also in social media, these
Mm-hmm.
young teenagers who are in high school, they will just see that and they will emulate. In some countries, maybe in where you are, I don't think maybe dressing like that it's bad. Maybe, I don't know. But here in Kenya, it's bad. It's bad. You
Mm-hmm.
can't just walk naked on the streets. People will be like, are you okay? So I think dress code has really affected the society generally because some people are so ignorant, like you said. The
Right.
individuals, the
Mm-hmm.
individual
Mm-hmm.
decide to just dress like that to communicate. Maybe
Right.
somebody, maybe a pastor, maybe or their church doesn't allow that, but because huyu mtu ni ignorant,
Mm-hmm.
anataka kucommunicate through a dress code, atavaa mshangae, and
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't care or he doesn't care. So I think dressing code plays a very big role. Another thing is that the young people are dressing, they are blaming people of rape cases. You can't tell me I
Right.
just dress like I am naked and I'm walking on the street ama nimetembea mahali hakuna watu, then I'm
Mm-hmm.
raped and I start blaming people. People are really,
But then
as in,
hold on. But then wouldn't you say there that my dress, my choice? They have been saying that quite often. My dress, my choice. But also,
my
would a dress code be something that really somebody is meant to use as a way of touching somebody?
my dress, my choice doesn't mean you walk naked,
Indeed.
right?
Hmm.
Yes, you're not supposed to put on, as in to dress like you don't know what is happening in your life, like you really want to provoke. When you walk naked in the street, trust me, men are there, and men are just, they only need to see for them to act. So when you are dressing, as in it doesn't mean whoever says my dress, my choice, then make it a decent dress code. I don't understand why you have to walk naked for you to feel actually it's your
To
choice.
feel
It
good, to
doesn't
feel good, or to look
doesn't
great.
make, yes, to look
Right.
good.
But then I couldn't agree with you. I think dress code is critical. I think people need to dress good, and there are occasions and places for different dress codes and all that. But I think there is also the need for us to educate, or rather to talk about mentoring. Mentoring is critical within safeguarding children. Mentoring, because if children are not mentored to understand dynamics of why they need to dress in a certain way, then it becomes a problem. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that it's critical that role models that children are looking up to. for them to be able to understand the dress code. Ama ni namna gani? Kwa sababu if children are looking at mtu ambaye they are thinking, I want to be like Mrs. B, I want to be like Mr. B, and the person is actually naked on TV, on the streets, that is who they want to be like.
Unajua kile mtoto anaona, when a kid learn mostly by seeing, ataona hiyo, and that's what they are going to do because they feel like I want to be like someone, then they end up dressing like that. Let me give you a good example. Just, I think it's last week, we had this issue of wife material, the Eric Omondi show. Many people, like Eric Omondi is a role model to very many people, not just in Kenya, but in Africa, or I don't know, in Africa. So whatever this show portrayed was not okay. Because imagine that kid who has always looked up to becoming that Eric Omondi, and then they just see that dirty stuff on the screen. Like, you just feel like, umelelewa, tuseme you are brought up in a very nice background, you are taught morals, you know what to do, what not to do. Then all of a sudden, the person you are looking up to is just bringing things that cannot even be worth looking at. So unakuwa discouraged. And some of these end up even copying what those role models are doing. I don't know if you came across that clip, the wife material thing.
Yes,
it's
yes,
not,
I did.
yeah.
Sadly, I did.
Sasa to imagine watoto wale walikuwa role model wa Eric, na sasa hivi whatever they saw, as in I can't be a young girl, I want to become good. Alafu wasichana ukiona vile wanatokea, it's really yani ni mbaya. I don't know. So these role models, they are really portraying pictures that are corrupting the children's mind.
So I think I couldn't agree with you more. I think that is why we wanted to talk about these issues today, so that if there are role models that are listening, or they're going to see this video, they really know that they have to hold their morals to a certain standard. There are ethics and codes that we must look up to, we must achieve, because when we are role models, we have children who are looking up unto us, and we behave in a certain manner. We corrupt manners, we corrupt morals for children who want to be like us, who want to be like that role models. So tafadhalini, if you are a role model out there and you are seeing this video, or you are going to see this video, please just know that we are asking you to know you have children and young people that want to be like you. They want to be famous like you. They want to be known in the community. They want to be known in the society. They want to be global icons, and they are looking up unto you. So when you dress negatively, very provocatively, very inappropriately, because unfortunately it does happen that you have people that are dressing and they are half naked. It does happen. So unfortunately, children will look at this and they will want to be like you. And that is why it is important, if we are going to help children and young people be safeguarded, because unfortunately, soon as they start dressing like that, they end up on the streets because they have to go see and meet their friends and all that. And then we have that one individual that is also, their mind is twisted, and they see that, and because this is a child, then they prey on them. When they pray, then things go wrong. And that is why we have to share and talk these things, so that we can ensure our children are safe. I think, Murugi, what you're saying, it's absolutely critical that if we are going to be good role models that are going to help our children develop and become citizens that are responsible, it is absolutely paramount we role model in the best way that is going to help them understand who they are, know who they are, how they behave, how they act, how they portray themselves, not only on social media, but also physically when they go out with their friends. We are living at difficult times, of course, whereby, a child is just going to need a gadget, whether it's a laptop, a tablet, an iPhone, a phone, and they be in their room and they can talk to the world. So if we don't teach them these good manners and through role modeling and then through showcasing, and we lead from the front, because you can only lead people from the front. If you are trying to lead people from the lead people and you are at the back, you can only push them, because you can't lead people if you're not at the front. You have to lead them and then they can follow you. But if you're at the back, you are pushing them, and pushing people is not leading them. So fantastic. It has been an honor having you, Murugi, on the show today to really showcase about that. Probably before we go, um, maybe we could just touch based on what we've just shared. What do you think are the best things that we or role models are meant to do so that children can grow up really in ways that they can continue to emulate? Aspects of good role modelings.
I think we should just act right.
Mhm.
As in your just everybody has got their areas where they specialize. For instance, you are dealing with the issues, safeguarding issues about the kids.
Yeah.
Do it right. If someone else is doing comedy,
Mhm.
do something that can teach the society and make these kids to just love becoming that big comedian.
Mhm.
As in, let's play our part. We can't all have content like you have. We are unique. So I believe that if everybody plays their part well and in a morally manner, everything will be okay. Because if you are a model, you are a footballer, you are a musician, you are a pastor, you are whoever you are, just play your part knowing that there is someone looking up to you.
Mhm.
And all will be well.
Thank you. Thank you. I couldn't add anything. I think you've said it all. If we do what we are supposed to do, God has given us talents and gifts. And indeed, if we showcase those talents in the best way possible, ensuring that we are making sure that we are role modeling people who are looking up unto us, then the society will be all right. Murugi, I couldn't thank you enough for coming today, but I think we need to have few more sessions. I think we need to tackle parenting on itself. And I think especially this issue about children and young people, sex and teenage pregnancies, I think that's a topic on itself that probably we may want to come and help our people, and especially also children, on how to deal and how to tackle with that. So we pray that God is going to open doors for us to have this probably 1, 2, or 3 shows. It would be nice. I have really enjoyed the support that you have given our safeguarding families around the world, and we could not thank you enough. Um, Maybe before we go, I know you are on social media platform, you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube. Maybe it is nice for people to know your handles. So, are you able to share with them, with your people where they can find you on?
Before I share, let me thank you for having me here. It was a really, really nice topic. I don't know, I have never discussed this before, but it's like we have content back in our mind. We have information to share, but not unless you gave me this opportunity, I wouldn't have talked about it. I believe that I have impacted somebody's life somewhere,
Yes.
and it is really nice to have such encouraging or educative topics. So my name is Morugi Nyaga. That is in Facebook, YouTube, Morugi Nyaga, and also Instagram. So if you want to reach me, you can go to my YouTube, watch my content, and subscribe. Follow me in my Instagram and in my Facebook page. It's just Muruginyaga. Simple as that.
Wonderful, wonderful. So thank you very much for that. So I pray that our viewers, Tafadhalini, please go to her Facebook page and just follow her. Go to her YouTube account and just subscribe to her channel. Follow her on Instagram. We are also Safeguarding Watoto channel is on Facebook. We are, of course, on YouTube, and we are also on Instagram, but we are also on TikTok. So please do follow and subscribe to our channel. Most importantly, we would like to thank you so very much for having come to the live video today. Thank you for the numbers. We did very well. We thank God that we managed to really share this beautiful talk with Murugi today, all the way from Kenya. We couldn't thank her enough for her contribution today. And I hope very soon we are going to have her on our platform again so that we can continue to support children and young people. Please do like this message, share it, write your comment down there. I am going to be able to respond to these comments because I've seen them. They're coming thick and fast, and I will be able to, deal with them later. But thank you very much. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel, and I know we are going to see you very soon. Initially, what we say, um, let it be known, let it be told that safeguarding children and young people must be everyone's responsibility. It is not a responsibility of one person. It is not about you allowing the teachers to do the job for you or your auntie, your uncle, your neighbor. No, 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 no. It is about you. You do your part. I do my part. Murugi will do her part. The community will do her part. School will do their part. And we will keep our children safe. It is our fundamental obligation to ensure we keep our children safe from any sort of harm. God bless you so much. Thank you so very much, Murugi. We really are humbled and blessed. And as we end this live Facebook, we can only appreciate you. And until then, God bless you so much. Thank you.
God bless you too.
God bless you.
Bye.
Bye.